Here we go again with yet another Mirror Dungeon hard solo run. This time we'll go through a full run of Liu Ishmael. For passives we grab Chef Ryoshu for much needed 15 health per kill, alongside LCB Gregor for extra 5 health per turn. More on that in a moment. And our usual lineup of Spice and Claire and LCB Mersault for 20% damage reduction. The reason I went with LCB Gregor over Chef Gregor is a bit counterintuitive, but trust me, it makes sense. Liu Ishmael can solo fuel her Ardor, which at up type 4 turns into 5 AoE death machine when overclocked. We will be using it a lot to get past some pesky human fights, but it costs us our last resources, which Chef Gregor would use for his passive. By using LCB Gregor, thanks to Starlight passives, we guarantee that the 5 health per turn passive will never be offline due to overuse of Ardor. But with that out of the way, let's talk about Liu Ishmael as a character. I mentioned before she solo fuels a free 5 if overclocked weight Ardor, which any unit with a good ego can go a distance in solo runs. We also have best resistances to have, bludgeoning, and best weakness to have, piercing. Since enemy distribution really favors bland, and there's only one type of human fight that can cause real issues, and it's Endcorp, so any run we want to avoid Endcorp either way. Additionally, she's also obviously dealing the best damage type as of now. Bludgeoning has really high clash rates, and access to Wrath, Lust and Envy allows for really disgusting combinations for some ego gifts that really benefit her. Lastly, she has a counter. And it's a Wrath counter as well. In solo Mirror Dungeon hard runs, counter is the best defensive coin type you can have on a unit. Mostly since it can stagger enemies on turn 2 that got their second coin, essentially mitigating an attack they would do or activate a heal on effects mid-turn to avoid getting staggered. Also, sometimes it's the only way of dealing reliable damage when you simply cannot win clashes. And with all that covered, our run starts well. We get phlebotomy pack, which works really well with aforementioned counter. Our pathing is fairly standard. We prioritize event nodes and try to go for most branching paths as possible. If you enjoy this type of content, make sure you subscribe and leave a comment. I have also opened the Discord, link in the description, so feel free to join. I've gotten a lot of comments requesting different IDs to solo, and a lot of them seem not only doable but fun, so there should be a poll going on right after uploading this video between the picks. You can tell me which one you want to see first. Keep in mind, I'll most likely try the new 7 units first, since I suppose it's more interesting to see the newcomers first, and my god do they look gorgeous. On first floor we had a misfortune of dealing with a human fight, but at the same time they were purely blunt damage dealing enemies, so Liu Ish had not too much of an issue dealing with them. It also allowed us to fuel enough resources to have get out of jail free card with Ardor always available. This run pretty much ends up as a resource management minigame. We can practically get out of majority of the problematic fights, or problems in general, by pressing funny Ardor Blossom button. Our floor 1 grants us a glimpse of Scarlet Moths, which will skyrocket our AoE damage and make turn 1 easier on us going forward. We heal up, grab some extra passives in LCB Heathcliff and LCB Rodia for extra 30% damage, as well as G-Corp Otis, which is pretty much a staple of our runs at this point. After some consideration, I picked up Grimy Iron Stake. I was not sure if I wanted it, but I decided that with us not relying too much on expensive passives from 3-star units, we can afford some less impactful gifts moving forward. And moving forward was our first and only Picatula fight of this video. Liu Ish can dish more than enough damage to make quick work of them, especially now with Scarlet Moths. Picatula fights are also a great place where we can get some surplus of resources. And if you want to see more silly Ardor, you can check out this video I made a while back. This time, we didn't get any gifts for the Picatula fight, but we get to branch into an event getting Sticky Muck, which oddly enough synergizes with Ardor and Grimy Stake, making our Ardor Blossom into 4 defense level power down. We pick up CV that will have no impact whatsoever and move on to the boss of floor 2, Ebony Queen Apple. Nothing out of the ordinary, we punch through it quickly and there is really not much it can do. I wish PM did buff floor 1 through 3 abnormalities and removed human fights, or at least make K-Corp Excision stuff an abnormality fight on floor 3. Honestly, what were they thinking changing them to human fight. But after moving on to floor 3, we are shown with first difficult choice of the run. Early Tomorrow's Fortune is really big, and I don't feel like choosing Disc Fragment over it. No matter how nice would it be for our ego spamming ways, I chose Tomorrow's Fortune. We continue to be a little greedy and going for a lead plant node. And as per usual, we make sure that our order staggers them and we finish them one by one to move forward, with no gift reward, which has now become 2 in a row. Very unlucky. There is not much to worry though, as Ardor Blossom makes quick work of all enemies, and we rapidly progress through floor 3 in spite of only blunt nodes ahead of us. A Corpse Staff has to be our easiest node we can encounter, as we deal fatal damage while they can't really hurt us at all. We command nothing to remove Thorny Path from our future gift selections and move on to yet another apple. This one was a bit more tricky than Ebony Queen, as I actually was consistently one off from winning clashes against it, so I simply decided to go for unopposed attacks and keep myself healthy with phlebotomy packs. Since we don't really need any more passives, I can afford to be risky with my health on bosses, as I can just heal up right after on the start of the floor. After punching through the apple, we are presented with a really nice selection of gifts, which ultimately boils down to Bloody Gadget against Lithograph. Healing really doesn't seem like a necessity in this run anymore, so I decided to go hard or go home and committed to Bloody Gadget for even more damage. And I was instantly rewarded with the best burn ego gift in the game, Glimpse of Flames, and the best healing ego gift in the game, Greatcoat. Considering the fact I was at floor 4, there was little the game could throw at me to stop me. Even Headless Ictus would most likely perish to the combination of ego gifts I have. And across the floor 4, we grab some extra ego gifts in Talisman Bundle and Lowest Star. Game tries to promptly stop us with 5 Endcorp enemies, to which we politely, yet assertively, say no and kill them in a turn. And here we go, floor 4 boss. It's really weird how fast we can get through some floors sometimes. We just started floor 4 and it's pretty much is already gone. While doing this run I genuinely didn't notice I was at floor 5 till we got to the boss node. Liu Ishmael deals just so much damage. With our boss being Fairy Longlegs, I decided to show all of the fight, including my targeting, since I did mention him being rather difficult to solo, as most floor 4 bosses are. But after getting our ego passives active and getting rid of all the bleed, we had attack points to start dealing enough damage to just bomb rush him and move forward. We grab Pinpoint Logic Circuit and become an actual problem with how much damage and application we have from our burn. Get Special Contract, which is especially juicy against some bosses on floor 5. Liu Honglu joins our team to make our burn application even stronger, alongside LCB Yisang and Faust, since there is nothing else that I could really pick up at this point. And we move forward into a Pekatula fight, giving us Electric Sheet for extra power up if we ever get to activate Envy Resonance with our skill 3. Spoiler alert, we don't. Another human fight, another overclocked Ardor Blossom to clear through it, and we're slowly getting to the point where we reach final boss and video ends, so I want to say thank you so much for your continuous support. I've been trying my best to keep weekly uploads as much as possible, and people seemed interested in the ego gift tier list idea, so that is in the works right now. I read all the comments or at least I try. Even if I don't answer to them, I just want to yet again say thank you, you guys keep making my day. But back to the video, our Pekatala fight gave us nothing, but a path to a very lonely tree. After it gave us carpal tunnel, we were allowed to move forward to our final obstacle. We heal up, grab red order since cost is no longer useful anyway, and this is it. Enjoy.